This just into CNN. Emails emerging today from top aides to New Jersey Governor Christie, bolstering the case that the lane closures on the George Washington Bridge back in September were born of a political vendetta against Christie's opponents and not simply an incomplete traffic study, as his administration had made the claim. Our Jake Tapper joins me live now from Washington. Listen, I've been reading some of these emails and they seem very, very damning. Let's be real clear. These are Christie's aides, but does anything go right to the top and tie Christie himself to this?
No. Not as of yet. We have no evidence that Governor Christie knew anything about these emails, the contents of these emails. But as you say, they are damning. They do seem to very strongly suggest that the lane closures on the George Washington Bridge in September 2013 were done directly to harm the mayor of Fort Lee, New Jersey. That is the inescapable conclusion from these emails and text messages that we obtained. Let's get to some of them right now. First of all, there's this one sent a few weeks before the lane closures from Bridget Ann Kelly. She is a deputy chief of staff for Governor Christie, to David Wildstein. That was a political appointee at the Port Authority in charge of the bridges and tunnels going between New Jersey and New York. And Bridget Ann Kelly says, "Time for some traffic problems in Fort Lee." And David Wildstein responds, "Got it." So that is the first time in these emails and texts we obtained that we see any sort of suggestion that there will be some action on the George Washington Bridge, and it's not about a traffic study. Time for some traffic problems in Fort Lee. Then the next thing that happens is the morning of September 10th, this is on day 2 of this study, the mayor of Fort Lee, and here's the context, the mayor of Fort Lee, like I think roughly about 60 Democrats in New Jersey, when Governor Christie, a Republican, was running for re-election, one of his big points on the campaign trail was that he was bipartisan, able to achieve things in a bipartisan way. He sought the endorsement of dozens and dozens of Democrats. He got the endorsement of dozens of Democrats. The Democratic mayor of Fort Lee, New Jersey, Mark Sokolich, was not one of them. So that is the accusation from Democrats in New Jersey, until now without proof, but now bolstered by these emails and texts, that the mayor says in a text message to David Wildstein of the Port Authority, "Presently, we have 4 very busy traffic lanes merging into only one toll booth. The bigger problem is getting kids to school. Help, please. It's maddening." Now, Wildstein sends that text message to somebody else whose name has been redacted, and that person writes back, "Is it wrong that I'm smiling?" Then the person writes, "I feel badly about the kids." A minute later, he or she texts, "I guess." Then Wildstein responds, "They are the children of Buono voters." Barbara Buono was Christie's Democratic opponent in the pending New Jersey gubernatorial election. So again, once again, the idea of revenge against people who are not on the Christie side.
Wow. And listen, it wasn't just the school kids. This was the first day of school. The buses were all showing up late, but there were also first responders, Jake. First responders said that they were having trouble responding to their emergencies, and that there was radio silence. And those are the actual words in some of these emails when there was a request, what's being said when the mayor reaches out and tries to get an answer from you at the Port Authority. Radio silence, as though that's sort of a badge of honor. This is very, very troubling. Radio silence, that's right. Bridget Ann Kelly, the mayor of Fort Lee, New Jersey, the day before, on the first day of the closures, calls in. Bridget Ann Kelly asks if anybody got back to him, and you're right, that's exactly Wildstein's response. Radio silence, as if he's bragging about it. His name comes right after Mayor, I believe his name is Fulop. That mayor, and I apologize if I'm mispronouncing his name, that mayor is a Democratic mayor of Jersey City, also a Democrat who refused to endorse Republican Governor Chris Christie in his re-election bid. That mayor this week said that there was a lot of revenge against him for refusing to endorse Christie. He didn't say specifically Christie had anything to do with it, but he said meetings were canceled from Christie aides and officials, cabinet officials, and he said he refers to Democrats who supported Christie as Christie-crats, and he said one of his bills was scuttled because he didn't endorse Christie. Here's another one, by the way. On September 18th,
after there is the story starts to get some traction in the news, because there is this suggestion that it was a political vendetta, and also just a mystery as to why these lanes were closed on the first day of school. And David Wildstein says to Bill Slepian, who is the campaign manager for Christie, and he says that he's ready to go to work with empty boxes, and then he says that the mayor, who he refers to as the little Serbian, is going to have a bad November. He then writes back, the Christie's campaign manager, "It's fine. The mayor is an idiot, though. Win some, lose some." There are a lot of questions for Governor Christie based on these very damning emails from some of his top aides and his advisors. Christie, of course, we weren't able to reach him, but he in December said that he took his aides' word for it, that this was just a traffic study gone wrong, and he did accept resignations from a few of the officials.
Jake? Yeah. We're not going to get those answers at the swearing-in ceremony for the Salem County Freeholder Director, Julie Acton, because we just got the notice about an hour ago that Chris Christie has revised his public schedule and that this has been postponed. So no one's going to be getting any questions answered from the governor there. We'll see if we can get any response otherwise. Jake Tapper, good reporting, and thank you for that. Be sure to watch Jake in the Lead weekday afternoons at 4 p.m. right here on CNN. Jake, thank you.
Thank you.
The former Defense Secretary Robert